Coming up on the next episode.
Okay, we are back once again. I have got the got this opened up a little bit where we can see in here, hopefully. And this is the C15 that somebody tacked in there. I have moved it away from the pin 4 here. It was touching right here before, and now it's up here. As you can see, it's out of the way. There are several places. Now, I don't know how well you can see over here. I think you can see it now. Right there, filter capacitor. And so I've got it tied up again, like I say, out of the way. Now all this stuff that I'm pointing out here is going to be changed. What I would like to do is basically, now that I have that changed around and moved out of the way where it's not touching the other component there, I want to try this one more time and see if that is our problem, or was our problem, I should say. If this does fix the problem, I'm going to pursue the rest of the ones that I can get to here. I did hook this up directly here to the volume control. That comes directly from the previous, or the pin, I don't know what pin that is, of the detector. But it is directly connected. Like I said, I did think it would fit. It does. So anyway, that's that. So that eliminates the jack, and it's not a problem at all if it was. And so we should not have that noise that we had before, we hope. And if we do, well, we've got another problem. But let me hook this back up, and I'll bring you back, and we'll try it again. Well, you can hear it's still making the noise. Same thing. Volume doesn't make any difference. Man, I really thought that was it. I thought, God, that's got to be it, because it was definitely touching that. All right, we are back once again. I think I have this on. Yeah, it is on. Now, what you hear, or what you should hear, or don't hear, I guess is the better way to put it, is that is all the way up. There is no noise anymore. And I think you can all see this hanging out in the breeze. That is the C15 disconnected. So I wanted to isolate where the noise was coming from. So in order to do that, I've separated the 12SQ7 from the 35L6, and it is a 35L6 in there now, because I found the other chassis that had one in there and inserted it. So it is in there, and it is apparently working. I don't have any, of course I wouldn't have any, there would be no way to control the volume of that stage anyway with this disconnected. So, but it does tell me that the problem is in the circuit of the 12SQ7, or circuitry I should say, somewhere in that area. So what I've done, first thing I did was to double check the veracity of the capacitor that was in there, and I placed a 0.005, the correct value, in between, bypassing this cap here completely, and that doesn't help at all. The noise is still there. So next thing I did was to take out the tube that was in there, the 12SQ7, which is here. So I had another one of them, same place I found the 35L6. So that did not change anything. So it has to be a component. Basically, the only thing I can do is start, taking one piece at a time out of there and finding out where the problem is. I mean, it's got to be one of those components. All right, well, we have a change, obviously. There is no more popping and cracking. The mica cap has been disconnected. That is our culprit. And I keep calling it mica cap, whatever it is. That seems to be where our noise is coming from. Our popping and cracking, at least. So now I've got to come up with one of those, and that may be harder than anything. Alright, we have it hooked back up, all except for that, what I keep calling the mica cap. We've got everything in circuit that should be in circuit, except for that. So, doesn't appear that we're getting anything there. Let's try our 455 here and see if that gives us anything. Nothing there. Try hooking it up here. So that's pretty good there. Don't think we've got any radio action. This thing just keeps on giving. So we've got the problem figured out with the audio section, but so that means that there is problems in the radio. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and do all the just turn you around here a little bit. Do all the paper caps up in this area. All right. Well, what you can see here is pretty much my first day effort of getting this fixed. I've got the power lead undone, and I've got my new connection scheme wrote up. I'm going to flash that up on the I'm going to show you the old way first, how it was, and then the new way it's going back. As you can see, the neutral of the polarized switch or plug that I put in there will be on the ground side, and the hot side will go through the switch to energize the set. So that should work out just fine, and that will do good. Now I do have a couple of caps replaced completely. I tell you what, this one was there's a couple of them here that's, well, not a couple, but this one here was straightforward. Basically just took out the old one, put the new one in. I believe it was 0.05, and it went from, I never can remember where it's at. That's in there really nice. I like the way I did. I used hook and pinch. Bill will be proud. This one here is the one I'm a little bit questionable about, but I'm putting it back as it was. Some of these sets had changes, and you know, when you come across something that's been in there basically since new, you know, it could have been changed later on. I don't know, but like I said, this is a 0.02, and it runs from 1, 2, 3, pin 3 to pin 8 on this tube here, which is the output tube, the 35L6. So if you look at the schematic, there is a, I believe C16 is 0.02, and it does run from pin 3, but it runs to basically tap on the output transformer. So I'm not really sure if that's the same one or not, but that's the only one I see that could be it. This one here, a 0.002, went from a tie point on the rectifier socket to over here at the, let's see, what was that? Yeah, pin 6 of the at 12SQ7. So, like I said, I've gotten that far. So I've got 2.5 basically caps replaced. I've got the old power situation changed around. I do have my new cord. It came in today, my new polarized cord, and I've got to put my knot in it. So I've got to do that, and then I'll be able to. Oh, that's the other thing I did was the volume control pot. I did redo that, and it is all cleaned off and cleaned inside and lubed, working rather well. So I'm hoping, anyway. So I've got that off and ready to go. So I want to get, that'll probably be the last thing I put on there after I get everything else lined up. I got to find out if I have the E-caps for the filter. That's a 30 and a 50. So I'll have a 47 and a 33 at 160. So is what I'll need. I'm just doing this, like I said, is slow because I can't. I can't remember everything, and I know I have schematic to work with, and that's good too. So, but like I said, I'm putting this back. As you can see, I've done pretty quality work as far as I'm not the best solderer in the world, but I mean I've done fairly well. Like I said, for a hook and pinch. Like I said, I'm getting there a little step at a time. So. JVC. I don't remember the number of it. Bill's good rattling off those numbers, but I'm not so good. So, as I said, I've got to get this all, I want to get this tube socket all wired up like it's supposed to be. The other one that I've got to concentrate a little bit more on is this one over here. Let's see if we can, it's where this 4.7, I think it's 4.7 meg ohm resistor, there's 2 or 3 things that will go there as well, and I want to get that cleaned off and get that like it's supposed to be. I have measured this. I think it measures a little high, but I'm going to leave it in there. I think it'll be fine. Alright, well, I am back again. Here's the one we're looking at. This is the 220 that runs from over here on this jumper pin socket on the rectifier tube. That goes to nothing. It's just a jumper point. And it goes from there to this pin 6 that we are trying to get all these things to. Now at the same time I put the 220k ohm resistor to the same spot. There's 2 holes on this tube socket. Most of the tube sockets are that way. Have a lower hole and an upper hole. I was able to get both of those in the lower hole and get some good solder on them, and I also used a piece of insulation there across that to make sure there's no shorting there. And that just leaves two more objects to connect to this. Now I think I can get away with that. This is one of them here. Of course this is the old one, but the new one will go in its same spot there, which is right here. And then there's the coupling cap, which goes from here to pin 5 of the what's this pin right here. Alright, well there you can see everything. I think everything is in now. There's the bypass cap going from pin 5 on the output tube to pin 6 of the 12SQ7. There's the 220k ohm resistor in there. That's the new mica 330 picofarad mica cap in there going to ground as it's supposed to. There's the 220 or 002 cap in there, and I think that's about it. Like I said, I've got to do the 47 at 200 volts. That's got to go, I think, to here to ground. So I think is where it goes. So I'll need to get that in next. All right, next part has been put in. That is the E-cap, the 47 at 200 E-cap right here. And there's the hot lead, obviously. And the negative goes down here to the same place at the ground, at the same place that the 330 picofarad cap grounded to. So all that is in. Got that out of the way. I don't think there's anything else that goes over there, so I'm trying to stick that stuff over that way a little bit as far as I can. That's all insulated, so there's no worries about that. I don't think there's anything else that goes up there, I hope. If there is, then I can make allotments when I need to, but I think that's pretty much it. I'll probably do this one before I finish all the rest of it, because it is attached to this socket, and I think I'd just soon be done with this socket completely before I put the volume control back in and anything else that has to go in there, and that needs to go on underneath of it anyway, all that stuff. So I may do that one. I'll have to check and see what that is. I could probably do that one right now. Alright, I'm back once again. I have the 0.1 now in. As you can see, it goes from here to here. Now, this may sound strange, but it's going from ground to ground. Let's take a look at it on the schematic. As you can see, one point is connected to chassis ground, the other one is connected to the chassis. So that's the difference there. So, but anyway, like I said, it's just, it is in there, and that's done. Now, I have an idea of whether I may go ahead and, well, I can't do anything else anyway. I might as well go ahead and, that big one right there, as you can see. I think that may be another 0.1. I'm not really sure, but it's a big one, I can tell you that. So it just goes from here to here. Not that far, but should be an easy one to replace. While I'm here, and again, this one here is the same way. It's easy to replace. I might as well get it while I can. Alright, I am back once again. This radio is completely recapped now. I will flash up a picture of the caps that have been replaced. The ones circled in red, as you'll see on the chart, all have been replaced, and I'm going to go through them here one at a time just to show you where they're at. This is one here, one back here, here. There's a filter cap there. There's a filter cap right there. There's a mica cap, silver mica cap there. There's a cap there. These are all paper, wax paper capacitors. These red ones and yellow ones. So there's one down here, and one all the way down here. Now that appears to be all of them, and I say appears. I haven't actually turned it around and looked on top of the chassis. There may be some there. I don't know. But these are, I'm gonna call these the important ones, and these are the ones that should make a difference as far as the performance of the radio. Now also, you may see that I have the volume control back in and wired up, and that includes the switch here with the new power cord in the UL knot, and the ground of that goes right here. That's the polarized cord. The low side of it, neutral side, whatever you want, going directly to ground here. That's the same ground as the filter cap there goes to. And the other side of it goes to the power switch, as outlined, before. And here's the wire that actually energizes the set after the switch is switched on. Goes to the rectifier tube. So that's the way that works. Now I am going to plug this in to the Variac. And I'm going to bring it up slow because, there's chances, always chances that people, especially people like me, might make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. And I don't claim to be, so. Let me get it set up here, plugged in and things like that, and we'll bring it up slow and see what happens. So stay tuned. Hi, we are back once again. Like I said, I have it all plugged in now, and I don't have the Variac on yet, but I will. And we'll bring it up, like I said, slowly. And I'll call out the voltages so you can understand where we're at. Let me do that real quick. I'll turn the Variac on. It is down all the way. And we'll go up to, say, 20 volts. And there's 20 volts. 0.08. On the amperage gauge, and I don't know if I mentioned this. I don't know what I've said and what I didn't say. I did mess the speaker up. I forgot to put the cover over it and put my finger through it twice. So it has been repaired though, so it's not a big deal. It sounds okay, I think. We'll see here in just a second. But so we're down to 0.06. Obviously charging the caps up. let's go up to about 50 volts. And there's 50. And right now we are at 0.10 on the amperage. That'd be 100 milliamps. And we'll see if it goes down any at all. No, nothing on the radio so far. It is in broadcast mode. There's two broadcast modes on this. There's a high and a low, and that's for tone. High is obviously the treble type setting, and the low is the bass type setting, and then the other one is for shortwave. So, but it is in the high AM band, or A broadcast, whatever you want to call it. So that's good. So like I say, we are 0.09. Let's go down to, or go up to 75 and see what we get there. And we are at 75 now. 0.12 on the amperage. I see there's a glow from the dial lights, and obviously there's noise coming out of the speaker. Tune it around a little bit. It looks to be as far as we can go that way. So that local station should have been in here. Obviously it wasn't. Let's go up to 100 volts. And we're at 0.17 on the amperage, 170 milliamps. Kind of odd that the radio went away. Not sure why. Okay, that seems to be operating. I'm going to go ahead and take it up to 115. Not sure what the deal is. I got a hum though. We're back down to 95. Kind of odd. Let me take it up again. There's 117, 118. Not sure why. I'm going to bring it back down. I think we've got a little bit problem here somewhere with the... I actually get better action out of the radio at 100 or 83 volts. That's kind of weird. Unless something's wired wrong. But again, the amperage is at 1.15. That's 150 milliamps. Alright, what I'm going to do is unplug it from the variac, and I'm going to plug it directly into the 115, or actually 125 volt constant isolated, and I'm going to see what happens there and see if that makes any difference. Alright, that's plugged in. Go ahead and turn it on. No radio action at all. Very weird. Now I don't have a way of judging the current, so I'm not going to leave it in there long. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. That's weird. So there's an indication of something, and I don't know what. But anyway, not to belabor the fact, we do have it working now, and it seems to be working better, if not perfect. But I think the next step is to find out what the deal is with the voltage, and I don't know. I'll measure some voltages on the tubes, but Anywho, I do need to do some checking on the voltages, make sure that they're right, but that's going to be next video because, like I said, this is as far as we're going to go with this one. I think it's far enough. We've done a lot of work on this set, and it is actually working. Seems to be working properly until you get that voltage up higher. And like I said, at 80 something volts, the radio part of it seemed to be working really good, but then as soon as you get up into 100 and even above 100, the radio seems to just go away, and it's just basically audio that you heard coming out of the speaker, and that was kind of weird. So not really sure what that means. That could mean something in the radio section is wrong, but we're going to find out. Like I said, next time we'll do some voltage checks and maybe some pumping in some signal and see what happens. So stay tuned for that. And I do appreciate you guys following along with this. And like I said, it's been a while since I've done a tube radio. And obviously, I've still got some problems with this. Of course, you know, that's nothing new for me. But so, like I said, you guys appreciate you watching, and we would like to thank you for that. And I guess we will see you the next time. So, bye for now.